Oh, sir. Yes. Sorry about that. There was some hitches there. The volume was not good, but I think I'm getting. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that hitches. There was some issue with the volume when I started, but now we are good. We are good. So I was saying that we are happy with the moves from the Federal Republic of Ambazonia that has been registered by the U.S. Justice Department as a foreign country. Okay, this registration grants us that authority to fully operate as a political action group in the United States and sundry. Okay, we now have the authority to open a diplomatic office in Washington, D.C. to lobby for the restoration of our independence, that recognition of our independence. Okay, so in the days ahead, a diplomatic mission will be open in Washington, D.C. Stay tuned for more. Okay, stay tuned for more. Okay, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has been recognized as a foreign principal by U.S. State Department of Justice. Okay, the Department of Justice. But the question is, how does this benefit Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians? Okay, we need that collective energy. Okay, like what Professor Lumumba said, there are certain things that can only be done by hard work and logic. Yet we still think they can be solved by prayers and fasting, and that will not happen. We must begin to do things for ourselves. Okay, we must begin to do things for ourselves. Okay, appreciation to all the foot soldiers, all the civilians across the national territory. Appreciation to the diasporans for the wonderful march past that took place. Okay, and I was very, very cautioned to make sure that we covered all the stuff for the 1st of October, okay, through our Facebook and YouTube platforms, this official page of Freaks Misodi, Facebook and YouTube page, okay. Thank you very much. The generals, those generals, please make sure you're vigilant. You make sure you change camps, plant. Make sure you increase surveillance, because it's not easy. This is war, and there are many issues that are happening within the struggle that we have to be very careful. Okay. Now, I believe this move will bring some kind of reconciliation with all the leaders. Okay, this reconciliation will be paramount, and we need to support others irrespective of our affiliations. Okay, what America has just done by recognizing and registering us as a foreign government on exile is a milestone that has taken us 7 years to achieve, and I think now we understand that any gains we make should be celebrated. Okay, I remember when we were once told in Brussels by the UNPO that for them to intervene in our issue, we need to have a foreign country host us officially as a government in exile, which was difficult for us. Please let us support one another, come together and push for more, except we are not ready for reconciliation as we claim. Okay, let us stop attacks, all these attacks. Everyone is happy for this move by the interim government. Chris Ano has been celebrated for this, because we have been looking for something like this. We need diplomatic moves, right? Okay, so asking all these questions doesn't mean they are not in support, right? Ambazonia must be free. We want this kind of moves so that we know that, okay. I like the response from Mark Barretta. He said Ambazonia now has a lobbying firm, right? The firm has registered their interest with us, with U.S. government, to represent Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Okay, groups should unite around this effort to make the best out of this. Congrats to Chris Anno and his team. Okay, that was Mark Barretta. They will also have a response from Amber Newsline. Thanks to Mr. Chris Anno, the U.S. government, not a council, but the American government, has officially registered the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Amber Newsline called on other Amber leaders to put Ambazonia above all their groups and congratulate Mr. Chris for this big win. If La République du Cameroon think that it is a lie or that it cannot happen, let them summon the U.S. ambassador in Yaoundé to explain. Let's see. Of course, they don't have what it takes to summon the U.S. ambassador, and justice is not also on their side. Once again, thank you for the big win, Mr. Chris Anno. That's coming from Amber Newsline, and appreciating Comrade Chris Anno for that move. So this is one of the best. This is coming to from another Comrade Mba Francis. He said this is one of the best speeches of Comrade Chris Anno and great achievement for Ambazonia. To match action with words, Ambazonians hope to see Comrade Chris Anno in Canada. This major victory for Ambazonians, as he puts it, has come at the right time that Ambazonians are meeting to redefine a common roadmap of our liberation struggle going forward. Fellow Ambazonians, Canada has arrived. Let all participate and all eyes on Canada. This is a Southern Cameroon Ambazonia People's Conference. It's only a fool who runs away from his or her problems thinking that is the best way to solve his or her problems. If you run away from your problems, the problem will overtake and wait for you at the next bus stop. Any leader or group that does not want unity, collaboration after 6 years of this genocide. After this conference, Ambazonians will give their report card for all and the world to see and know their mission in our liberation struggle to restore our independence. Unity and collaboration is power to flush the enemy from our country. That's coming from another Comrade Mba Francis. Okay, we have a lot of reactions across the world. You know, another person say, I have my peace of mind after this wonderful diplomatic move and a feeling of true satisfaction. Thank you, Comrade Chris Anno. I am elated to be with my own feelings. Nonetheless, a precious and capricious one is left behind to be reconnected soon. Meanwhile, I let the bask in. This one found peacefully and tranquility, however ephemeral it may be, while others have a preoccupation for their safety and security. And when they believe in genuine collaboration, they seem to relish fighting each other, killing each other, and ever more ingenious in inventing evil acts with an unseen forbidity. They celebrate over the demise of people who transform into criminals and assassins. Keep being wicked, jealous, envious, cantankerous, and above all, don't stop behaving as an ostrich, refusing what even a blind man sees. Keep trying to think you are Solomon. This is coming from other, and he says, thank you, Comrade Chris Anno, for this wonderful move. The most important to remain gregarious despite all the challenges, the machination and mischief from individuals looking around will not deter the Ambazonian people. Thank you, Comrade Chris Anno. So this is coming from Professor Ayim. He said, La République frustration and desperation is gauge for the unstoppable success of the Southern Cameroon Ambazonian restoration journey. Boya is real, and we are getting closer. We shall get there. Stay focused as we must intensify our actions and diplomacy. That's coming from Professor Ayim. So we have a lot of reactions across the world. This is coming from the Dr. Charles Egbe Agbo. He says, I don't often agree with Chris Ano, but I think this message from him is on the right path. A UN supervised referendum may work well, especially as it may provide a smooth transition away from criminals with guns. The re-engagement of lobbying firm is a great idea. If Sako had not disbanded the fully hawk LPP lobbying firm, perhaps we would have been a long way away by now. Fighting alone against a very powerful enemy can never bring freedom. The pain is always mightier than the sword. Let this initiative be discussed in Toronto and other places where leaders meet. This is coming from Dr. Charles Egbe Agbo. Okay. We also had different reaction from Ayaba, who's I want to also to get to what Ayaba said, and we'll play some excerpt about what he said because it's quite. I want to make sure that we have everything, but let me get some of what Ayaba said. Okay. I think he made some good points though, but this is coming from Ayaba, right? Yeah. Let's listen to Ayaba.
This is Dr. Ayaba. I am responding to a very lengthy audio that has been put out by Mr. Chris Ano. I listened to the entire message, and I think it is very important for me to respond immediately as to provide context and clarity on the scope of his message and on particular issues. Because in our struggle, messages wrapped in emotions can easily have the effect of masking content and reality. And it is very important that we focus on reality. The first reaction I need to make is this. The idea of the interim government has been a big betrayal of Ambazonia. And in all the situations that we have observed, whether it was the situation in Germany between 1939 and 1945, when they engaged in the denazification of Germany, or it was the situation in Iraq after the Second Gulf War, where the Allies engaged in the de-Ba'athification. It was due to the crimes and the activities of both the Nazi and the Ba'athist Party. The idea of the interim government has been a huge setback for our liberation struggle, where individuals have erected a platform that has been used for blackmail, extortion, abuse, betrayal, and every action inconsistent with the notion of nationalism and liberation. And to articulate 7 years into this war, an idea that Ambazonians will one day rally under this same interim government is is a mockery of the pain of our people and a betrayal of utmost proportion. That's the first issue. The second issue is the idea raised by Mr. Chris Ano, attacking the notion of collecting taxes, but curiously ended his message by appealing to Ambazonians to donate to the idea of a lobby firm. It will be important for Ambazonians to understand the difference between donation, support, and taxes. Ambazonians have relied on generosity, on kindness alone to prosecute a war against a country that relies on taxation, on borrowing from international institutions. Because of the betrayal of the interim government, Ambazonians basically lost their will. Because of the corruption, financial transactions with enemies, Ambazonians felt betrayed. Our forces then turned collecting funds through different schemes, which has hurt the relationship between our forces and our people. That is why the Ambazonian Governing Council collated all of these fundraising strategies on the ground into a minimum tax of 10,000 for men and 5,000 for women per year, as to eliminate means of extortion and harassment by different forces. This is the barest minimum a people under occupation, except those who are carrying arms, those who are engaged in education, the handicapped, and those who have children in barracks.
So that's Dr. Ayaba there. So after he finishes, I'm gonna give some analysis about my own take of what he said. Okay, so let's keep listening. Then they will come back to that.
Can do. And so to put out the message and attack a legal means of mobilizing resources that will go directly to impacting the occupation, and then ending that message by appealing to people to contribute into the activities of a lobby firm is disingenuous. The third point of interest is the idea of a lobby firm. In liberation struggles, lobbying is critical, it's essential. And so I welcome what Mr. Chris Ano has been able to do. Yet, we have experienced in this struggle how the idea of lobbying has been used to derail our focus on what is required of our people to be able to impact the occupation of our homeland. In the past 7 years, through the actions of our forces on the ground, the strategy of targeted diplomacy and internationalization, we have been able to do what most lobbying groups will never be able to do. We have been able to bring our case on the floor of the House of Commons and the House of Lords, the German Parliament, the French Parliament, the US Senate. We have been able, through persuasion and coercion, to cause the international community to bring pressure to bear on La République, sanctions imposed in different aspects. This has been achieved through sacrifice on the ground. The amount of money wasted by the interim government in paying fully held firm that achieved nothing. If the funds had been invested in the resistance, we could have still achieved what the lobby firms could have. That is not to say the idea of bringing into play a lobbying firm is bad ultimately. Yet, the agenda at this particular moment of Mr. Chris Ano to focus on referendum and lobbying is as a result of the failure under his own leadership, his propaganda to make requisite investment in the defense through the schemes that they have played to manipulate and to divert funds from our resistance. All this effort is geared at doing what he accuses everyone else of doing, remaining in the game, being relevant and diverting attention. In the history of the world, there has been no referendum for liberation or for independence that has been organized by the United Nations. This is a fact of history. And to think that the United Nations, through any means, will organize a referendum in Ambazonia is a fallacy. All referenda that have been organized in history has been done so by the countries that are under pressure. In the case of Eritrea, it was by Ethiopia, not the United Nations. And so it is very important that Ambazonians are educated that La République, that has never conducted a single free and fair election, that has never even accepted, and through the words of Chris Anu, has described us as 2 cubes of sugar, Biafrans and others, and through his own words, have not engaged in any compromise. To think that La République will somehow want to organize a referendum in Ambazonia is a huge distraction. Would it be possible one day that La République succumbs to a referendum apart from accepting outright battlefield defeat? It's possible, but that will only happen like in Eritrea. The Eritreans had already taken over Asmara, their capital, and the purpose for which Eritrea called for a referendum was for international legitimacy, and secondly, as a transition from a liberation process into a process of full governance and independence. Ambazonians must know that the reason why we have limped in the past is because of these distractions and diversions by individuals who have moved from one point to the other to the next, being confused, struggling desperately to stay in the game. Mr. Chris Anu has made several points, salient points, which we think will be taken into consideration. But the focus of our struggle at this moment must be to make sure the generals stay alive. And that will require us committing to the liberation task in order to arm our forces, bring more pressure to bear on the enemy through economic sabotage and undermining political legitimacy on the ground that will force La République to the inevitable, succumb and leave Ambazonia through outright surrender or through internationally supervised negotiation. We must be very clear about what will be required within the context of our resistance to be free. That does not negate in any way any little effort, but the way an effort is marketed is central to whether it is seen as an irrelevant injection in the different strategies or a diversion and recalibration that disrupt what is necessary for Ambazonians to do to be free. My fellow Ambazonians, the interim government has tried every scheme in the past 7 years to acquire illegal legitimacy over the Ambazonian people. It has betrayed the trust, it has betrayed fighters, it has murdered fighters, it has diverted funds. And the interim government is an institution that has lost its relevance within the context of the Ambazonian struggle. Does that mean individuals within the interim government, including Mr. Chris Anu, should not or cannot still play a constructive role, they can and they should, but within the context of seeing what they lead as a structure, as a movement, not as any government that speaks for the entire Ambazonian people and has the required legitimacy to represent all of us. As I said a few days ago, at the appropriate time, the Ambazonian people will come together and set up a transitional government that will have the mandate to negotiate for Ambazonia and to begin to work on the electoral code and the constitution for our new country. At this particular moment, our interest is properly being represented, and I call on each Ambazonian to focus on what is required to protect our people, protect our villages, protect our generals, and to make sure they who carry the rifles live to see what they have been fighting for. God bless Ambazonia.
That was Comrade Cho, Dr. Ayaba, in that yes. So let's do a rundown of what he just said. I know there are a lot of people who are in this struggle, and they want most of anything. If it's not through them, they will not support it. Okay, but this one, any leader that will not support this particular endeavor or cannot congratulate Comrade Chris Ano of what he has just done is out of jealousy. That's it. It's just because for the past 7 years we have been fighting, right? You have seen so many crises around the world, but this particular Ambazonian crisis needs a lot of strategy, and you've seen a lot of foreign diplomats trying to congratulate Comrade Chris for this move. Okay, if a move does not come through you, doesn't mean that you will not support the move. Doesn't mean that. It's a very important move. And when Comrade Chris has been bringing in so many diplomats on ABS TV, people don't understand the work that is going behind the scene. You see, it's not just like anybody can just come out and just do this thing overnight. This is not an overnight work. It's a thorough background work going on. Okay. Comrade Ayaba is talking about the IG has been the most betrayal group. I mean, if we want to follow, how do you compare a group and the government? Ayabacho owns his ADF and his egg of C. Does Ayabacho owe any allegiance to any Ambazonia? No. He runs his group the way he wants. He dismisses the spokespersons that have been there from Tapang Ivo and all these ones that have been spokesperson there. Capo Daniel. He decides what he wants for his group. He is a CIC, he is a president, he is a commander-in-chief of his group. He's the chairman of his group. You cannot be comparing a group to the government that we are trying to build. You think that a group can go and work on behalf of all Ambazonians? I don't think so. And that's what Ayaba is trying to achieve. You want to use the ADF and the egg of C to control Ambazonia. The platform of the IG, the sense of the IG is the sense of government. We had government before. when we conduct election, if Ayaba wins the election, he can come to the government and be the president, right? But you cannot impose us the ADF and the AGOFC as the body that will have to be under. No, it doesn't work like that. There are many groups. You know of SCAPO, you know of NCNC, you know of ADF is not different from that, or AGOFC it's not different from that. There are so many different groups. So the leaders should understand that the international community, we have always been saying this, they need something, a government. They need it. Yes. No matter what you talk about, no matter what, they need a government to rely on. Yes, they need it. I know some people don't understand why we are emphasizing of a government and all that. They don't understand. They just think that government just means that, okay, people should, no, the government are for the purpose of the government is for the people to have a kind of institution that the international community can rely on. Okay. Now, they know that the interim government has been registered in the United States, right? If it's a group, the group can be a rebel group. The group can be this, the group can be that. But we're trying to make something that the international community know that, wow, these people have a government. They have president, they have this. And this is showing how democratization we are trying to be. The groups now can still work with the interim government and do and work in that kind of consensus way, right? It must not be that the groups will not listen to the interim government because they don't want them to go and represent them, or they don't. I don't think that's the goal. We have been calling for collaboration, calling of this kind of thing. If Dr. Ayaba for the past years do not want collaboration, it's because of all what he just said. He just mentioned a lot of things that is his number one reason for not collaborating. He wants to be listened to. Okay, if something is going that is not him, Ayaba does not support that too. He wants anything to be him, and that is not good for a leader, because if you have your own success, how do you call people to come and support your own success? If you don't want to jubilate, if you don't want to appreciate what people are doing, but you are only there to criticize, then if you have your own success too, nobody will come and celebrate with you. People will say you are lying, because some of you leaders spend time only on attacking what people are doing. The idea of the interim government is good for the image of the international community. If you see the atrocities that some of the guys are committing down there, and we have not heard Dr. Cho come and condemn it. You saw the killing of those two black legs that they called them. Okay, we cannot tolerate that kind of killing. Okay, we cannot. That misrepresentation of our liberation struggle is the direct consequence of that lack of genuine collaboration that we're talking about, and the denial of putting in place a quality control structure which will have overseen the activities of each group and made sure that they comply with the objective of our struggle. We don't have that kind of structure, and Ayaba don't want that, because when he come together, they'll start asking him accountability from his group. But he owe allegiance to nobody. Okay, unfortunately, this action carried out by the ADF forces in Guzan is an act of that we have to condemn it. We have to condemn it. It's against the Ambazonian people. We are not that violent. You can't execute people in a broad daylight. Yes, they are black legs, but this action, this is not what our independence stands for. We have to condemn this in all its forms. We cannot allow this kind of killing in execution in broad daylight. This is not who we stand. This type of gruesome killing is not a symbol of our culture. It's not. Okay. The ADF and AGOFC leaders must condemn such act. That is what I wanted Ayaba to talk about. He never mentioned that. He never. Okay. He never mentioned that. We want to understand why this kind of gruesome killing, and the real thing has not come out. We don't know why they did this to that guy, to those guys. Some say they are blackleg, but some are saying that these guys did not have money to pay for their taxes. Right? These same taxes that we are condemning, so these are things that we have to understand. Ayaba trying to draw conclusion between donation, support, taxes, generosity. It doesn't make sense. Okay, our struggle from day one, we have not relied on ground zero. Because we know that through the crisis, people are going through different kind of sufferings. We cannot put our burden on ground zero. Okay, we don't have a good mechanism now that we can do across the board kind of taxation system. Okay. And on the other hand, you cannot go and be collecting taxes for your own single group. And you know that there are more than 10 groups in this struggle. You have to work in synergy with other groups and the interim government, so that when you do that, they know that this is what you're doing, right? So that if something happens along the line, we can hold leaders accountable. Accountability is not just you asking people to be accountable, but you don't want to be accountable for yourself. Accountability is a flat level ground. Should be flat. In law they say when you want equity, come with clean hands yourself. Don't come with dirty hands. That equity should go across the board. Okay, you cannot ask for accountability from the IG, but you have not shown us that you have accountability on your own part. There's all these atrocities that have been committed by ADF. What kind of accountability are you talking about? Why, we need some form of trial. We need some form of court that these guys can be tried also. Okay, you cannot just accuse somebody. We don't have we are talking of the Anglo-Saxon judicial system. When you arrest somebody for to do something, you do not try that person. You just execute the person like that. Is that good, or that's not the legal system of Ambazonia? Our legal system is the Anglo-Saxon system. You give a person the chance to defend themselves. Okay, give the person those chances. Okay, I know. So I'm calling on all the Ambazonians to act responsibly and strategically in our quest for total and unconditional liberation of our country. Please, this act did not do us a favor. We just had a big diplomatic win in Washington, D.C. And if our people see that we are doing this to them, how do you think they'll be happy to support us? I don't think so. I don't think our people will be happy to see us treating their people this way, right? They rely on us for safety. They rely on us for security. But we cannot treat them this way. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Leaders having self-defense volunteers on ground zero should be in the position of identifying all potential this kind of atrocities. Keep them, make sure that these guys are informed of the consequences of these actions. Okay, they cannot be killing people like this. It doesn't make sense. We have to have a legal system where people go through so that when they found themselves guilty, they know that they are guilty of this crime. Okay, so that they know that this crime is this punishment. Okay, but you cannot punish our people like that. Okay, our people are very nice people. They are very peaceful people, and okay, this is what Mark Barras says about this issue. He said the traitors in the diaspora who exposes our fighters and get them killed, plus the blacklegs on the ground who give intelligence to Cameroon and get our fighters killed, maimed, and barracks attacks are no different from each other. So he's trying to compare the blacklegs and those who in the diaspora who are trying to set up fighters, that they are the same people. The Ambazonian revolution is an open book, and we are yet to find a formula to stop these blacklegs and stall their growth. We have seen how their single call could cause havoc. At some point in the revolution, some things are inevitable to set a lesson. We do not leave the circumstances these fighters go through. We don't have their experiences, and those who are still committing and have not run to Nigeria, Ghana, and DDR centers, etc., must be praised, supported, funded, and advised. He said we should advise them, and he said a civilian that works actively with the military to attack Ambazonian forces in any form is no different from the military. Once it is established that someone is effectively working with the Cameroon military beyond reasonable doubt, an example needs to be set, and a very hard one. At this moment, the ADF is in order. So he, according to Mark Barata, he's saying that what the ADF did is good or is in order. I don't know what he means, but we can't support this kind of gruesome killing in public. The interim government will not support that, no matter what the crime of the person is. We need to follow legal procedures. Okay, we need to follow legal procedures of how to handle this kind of blacklegism, these betrayal situations. Okay, I'm still on with Dr. Ayaba, who congratulated Chris Ano about his lobby firm. But he was trying to compare Chris Ano and Sako, who had the Foley Hawk firm, but the firm did nothing, and there was a lot of money that was spent on the Foley Hawk firm. I support that, but you know, anything that happened in the past, sometimes if you want to go back, you see a lot of mistakes. Okay, and most of the people that do not want to accept mistakes in the past will not learn in the future. Okay, you have to accept that yes, we had a lot of mistakes. Nobody is an expert in this thing. Okay, we just came to the struggle and everybody entered there. So if you expect people to be experts, nobody is an expert. Okay, people made a lot of mistakes and we are learning from that. Okay, the contract that Sako signed with Foley Hawk was not a good contract, because you just say, oh, you want a firm. This global firm has no contract, no mission, no objective. Okay, no goal. It doesn't make sense. You just say you hire this law firm, leave them there. No. What President Chris Arnold did was that he hired the law firm. He said, okay, this is your mission. We want to achieve this within this time frame. You see. So this good news is just the first move of that law firm. So they have not even started. The next move now is to open an office in Washington, D.C. Okay? Open an office in Washington, D.C. where all these projects can take place, right? Then Comrade Ayaba was very crushed with referendum. He said the referendum is not necessary, is a distraction. But I think if he's talking about negotiation. Remember, Dr. Ayaba was one of those leaders who did not want to, who never came to Switzerland. Then when they heard the Cameroon government say that they want to go to Canada, they rushed there. And you see, but what happened in Canada? Nothing happened in Canada, right? And if these leaders don't want to take opportunities, after the Swiss-led negotiation started, Dr. Ayaba did not come. So, who do you blame? You prefer to go to Canada when you know that La République abandoned Switzerland negotiation to go and form another negotiation. How can that work? The Swiss government had the experience, had everything in place for a smooth mediation process. But La République did not want to come there, did not want to commit. So now you are saying that, okay, had it been Ayaba even took part in that referendum process, the Switzerland process, he would have understood what these guys were talking about. Okay, the Switzerland government was also making sure that we are prepared, that the leaders are prepared for an international negotiation. Okay, making sure that these leaders have most of the things that makes a country. If Dr. Ayaba is blasting anything that has to do with a country, but he prefers people to follow by his groups, man, come on. I know, people want to stay on their group. They are very comfortable within their groups, but those groups don't add up to what the international the expectation of the international community. Why do they ask us during the referendum conference? They ask us about, do you have a flag? Do you have an anthem? Do you have a bank? They ask us even a bank. You see, why are they asking all these things? These are things that makes countries can rely on you. You cannot have your group. There's no direction. There's no accountability. You just want people to be following groups. This one, this group, this side, this one. There's no synergy. The international community don't even know who to talk to. You have carrying people to your group, have your own things. People don't even know your modus operandi. You want to start taxation. If you have following, if the ADF AGOFC has following, they don't have to go and collect money back in ground zero. They'll collect money from their followers in diaspora, as the interim government is doing. The interim government is not going to ground zero to collect monies. We will have that taxation system. Is something that you do. Taxation system, you tax people who are civil servants, you tax companies, you don't tax people who don't work. If somebody is not working, you go and be taxing the person. Does that make sense? Taxation policy, you have personal taxes, you have federal taxes, you have state taxes, you have all those different tax systems, tax laws. Which tax law has Dr. Ayaba read to start going to collect taxes in Ambazonia? There must be something official accepted by the interim government, the groups, and all the leaders, that this is the tax system we want to start implementing. One group cannot just go and start doing things there randomly. Then you're asking, how can we hold you accountable? Which area are you going to start collecting this money? You see, it should be something of that. Okay, this group is in charge of this area. This one, so we know that you are in charge of this area. If something happened in that area, so that you are accountable. There should be auditing of, okay, this is what is going on. This is what, so that we know that, okay, this area is controlled by this. This is what is going to come out from this. That's how it is, right? That's how it is. It's just like you have political parties, but we know that if SDF, for example, if SDF wins in this area, they control that market, right? The mayor is in charge of that market. If CPGN win in that other area, they will be in charge. So we should have that kind of understanding of then you just start saying, oh, you are collecting taxes. And you are collecting taxes only in Guzan. Then the other areas, they don't even collect taxes. But when you have a synergy that all the organizations are okay, understanding that they know who to tax. Taxation is not for people who don't have money. You don't go and pressurize people who are not even working. Businesses are the people that, businesses. Civil servants, those are the people you know that they are working. But if you don't have a very rigorous system, you are doing disservice, because that will consider ransom taking and kidnapping. Because if something happens, you cannot give an account of what happened. Man, come on, So that's why. So when Chris Ano is condemning taxation system, it's because of that. You have not consulted with the interim government. You have not so you go in a 1, 2, 3, 4 villages and go and be harassing the people there. Is that taxation system? We have to have a harmonious system. Okay, we know who is in charge of which area, who is in charge of this area. The civil servants, people who are working, are the people you have to tax. Even in America, you don't tax somebody who is not working. Somebody is a internally displaced person, you go and be asking the person money. We need that system. The businesses are the one you tax. Businesses, civil servants, people who are working. You have to first of all know their salaries too, because you tax somebody 10% or you tax somebody 5%. You don't even know the salary. You don't even know the business setup, how much the person is running in his business. It doesn't make sense. It's not harmonious. It's not legal. It's not official. Okay, so anything that any group is doing, if you have to do it in consultation with the other groups, that's what we're talking about. Then another person also, Amber Newsline also made some very interesting comment. Amber Newsline about that. I'm very happy with that. That most of these guys are understanding why this thing is very important, right? So he also made some very interesting comments there, Amber Newsline, and I want to bring him too, because he's also he made some very powerful comments there. Amber Newsline. So let's take a listen to Amber Newsline then.
Fellow Ambazonians, good evening. You are the Ambazonia Newsline for situation analyst, where I bring to the situation of the world. Here today, that is number 5 day for October month, where I want bring to this big breaking news where it will come out of the United States of America. For our page for money time, I think for Amber Newsline page say, the United States of America, they don't be the first country for recognize the Ambazonia Liberation War, or for recognize the Ambazonia as a foreign country for inside the USA. Yes, United States of America don't be the first country for recognize Ambazonia as a foreign country for inside USA. This one is thanks to Mr. Chris Ano. He led IG, where they really push for this diplomacy, for get a breaking grounds for this big news at the big border. So we have to analyze this news. Now tell the Ambazonia people what is this one mean for this liberation war for this time. But before we want to analyze that, I would like to listen to Mr. Chris Ano, where he announced this news over ABS TV yesterday, and then when we listen finish, then we'll analyze. So we'll listen to Mr. Chris Ano. We'll listen.
I am even more excited to announce that our firm has already achieved a significant diplomatic victory for the people of Ambazonia. This is it. The Federal Republic of Ambazonia has been officially registered by the United States government as a foreign country. This designation allows us to establish a diplomatic mission for Ambazonia in Washington, D.C., similar to Somaliland which has yet to be recognized as an independent state, but operates a diplomatic office in the USA. We are looking forward to that in the near future. This signifies a remarkable shift from being just a group, as we know it, to being registered in the United States, acknowledged by the Justice Department as a foreign country under the official name of our country, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia.
The Federal Republic of Ambazonia has been officially registered by the United States government as a foreign country. This one dey come from Mr. Chris Anu over ABS TV, where he announced to the Ambazonia people. This is a big win. This is a big win for the Ambazonia Liberation War. I don't know why people dey congratulate Mr. Chris Anu for this big diplomatic win. But this is the thing. Make I analyze am over here. This announcer, na the same status where Somaliland get am. Na the same status where Taiwan get am. Na the same status where South Sudan dey fight for liberation, dem get am. And na the same status where Western Sub-Sahara dey get am. Now, what do you mean? It means wetin? As Mr. Chris Anu over the talk say, in the days ahead, they will fit get an office in the United States of America for run diplomatic issues. Yes, not that office now or that diplomatic post wey dem fit get for represent Ambazonia. He can now represent Ambazonia as an Ambazonia embassy. Yes, and he can now represent Ambazonia as an Ambazonia embassy. Make una remember, say because of China, most countries already recognize Taiwan as a country, but Taiwan get a diplomatic post where e dey inside America, e dey inside Somaliland, and inside some other countries as where e dey operate like their own embassy. Una hear me? When this post dey operate like their own embassy, why e dey influence una because of security? Because due to diplomacy, since America never officially recognized Taiwan as an independent country, they no fit directly give Taiwan an embassy in America. So when they get for Taiwan, na the same status wey Mr. Chris Anu announced over TV say we Amazonians we don't get them at this time. So we get at the level of Taiwan, at the level of Somaliland, at the level of Western Sahara, and also then at the same level where South Sudan be converted before it totally get independence. Fellow Amazonians, we don't win our Political for this war. For this trip, for this video, where we are watching, we are not see this trip we put for this trip. This trip is come from Ambassador Tito Natch. He even put Chris Anu there.
That was Amber Newsline. That's Amber Newsline, and it's always good to recognize the effort people are doing, and than to start criticizing when you don't even know the impact of it. Okay, I'm just happy that Amber Newsline has really spoken lengthily about that, and it's very important because now we understand some of the moves, right? We understand most of these things now, and some people are there just saying, "Oh, they don't believe. They don't believe." What do you want to believe? What do you want to believe? Do you want to believe something that is not real, or you want to believe that our recognition is very, very important, right? I don't know what people want to believe. Amber Newsline made some very good points there that I put down. He mentioned about the recognition. He also, we have been saying that most people think that our recognition will come only through a negotiation. Okay, then they will be there fighting. They don't know that while you're fighting, the side of the diplomatic side too has to be going on. Okay, if we are gaining ground now today, it's because of diplomacy too, right? While the boys on the ground are also doing their work. Okay, we the office of like any other country that has not been recognized by some other countries, they have diplomatic offices in America. Okay, so America is the first country, no doubt, to recognize us as a foreign country in America. And any activity we are doing now, we are doing it as a country. That is the thing that we have to understand. But people want to just stay in their normal groups and be doing their things. Then very soon they are calling people terrorists. You don't know why they are calling people terrorists. Because you're not organized. If you're organized as a country, you have institution, you have the flag, you have your anthem, you have all that. Who can call you terrorists? Nobody. Because you have your flag, you have an emblem. If I said this before, even in America, all 50 states in America, they have their flag, they have their anthem. Nobody play about that. Nobody is joking about that. Because those are what makes them recognized as a state. Okay? Even though they are within America, but they still have that. Okay? But some people say, no, we don't want that, we don't want government, you don't want government. How do you operate without a government? You want to be in your groups. A group of 10 people, you want to control the whole of Ambazonia. Groups of 5 people, you want to control the whole of Ambazonia, or a group of 5 people. What kind of thing is that? A government that we have institutions like the Restoration Council, we have the LGAs and counties that are together. Come on, you don't want that. You want people to stay in groups. Then when people are winning diplomatic victory, you don't want that. You don't want that. You want us just to keep fighting, just to be fighting. If people are winning diplomatic victory, no, that's not good for you people. You want to just stay there. You have boys on the ground. Those boys are dying every day. They are falling every day. You are not seeing it. Those are people's children. If we are calling of referendum, Ayaba said he doesn't want referendum, right? But if the American government recognizes that you are putting that effort for a negotiation process, that is a win for us. Some people don't know that America is giving us all these. You saw the other day the American representatives, House of Rep, wrote letter to the Secretary of State so that they should extend the stay for our Ambazonians in America who are under the TPS, the temporary protective status. That is a win for us. That is a win for us. What kind of thing do you want to win? How do you want to win? If you have things that you are winning, then you say, no, that's not a win for us. We should stop comparing ourselves with other countries. We are so lucky that we are blessed that we are fighting our own crisis now in the time of social media. So we are spreading our tentacles very wide and far. The other struggles took many years. But because we are so lucky that we have social media, the international community already know our cry, they already know. You have seen many journalists talking about our issue. But we should not stop there. That's just the beginning of our journey. Any move anybody is making, we have to appreciate. Yeah, we have to appreciate. Okay. We must not. Yes, when we call on referendum, because there is a possibility that the negotiation process might lead to referendum. So why not get ready, just in case, right? We understand that this move that America has made like this will make La Republique shaking now. Okay, so you think that at this point, if La Republique now has realized that they are fighting a lose battle, you saw one of the La Republique B guys who is now in America calling on all the other Bs to leave the fight and travel. And it's true, because they have realized it. For the past 7 years, this thing, they cannot win. They can't win Ambazonia. There's no way. If America, with all their might, they cannot win in Afghanistan, or Vietnam. They cannot win in Vietnam. Who is La Republic? Oh, master. We are not 2 million people. We are 8 to 9 million Ambazonians. So think of it. You cannot challenge people in their country. Oh. You cannot. Yes. The occultic, ritualistic government want to be killing people, using that blood to be living longer. All people, barbaric, nepotic people, carrying this blood of Ambazonian and living long. Then the young ones too don't understand that these people are old. These people are in their 90s. They have like 5 years to live. You're going to die for them as young as you are. Master, think of it. Think of it, my man. You better fight for your country, La Republique. I'm talking to the B now. Fight for your country, La Republique, than to fight for these old, haggard people, diaper-wearing parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. You go and fight for them. Think of it. Are you fighting for your future, or you're fighting for the future of these old people? These people don't have future no more. They have lived their life. For the past 40 years, they have been minister of this, minister of that, moving from one ministry to another. You are still supporting them to stay there. It's very shameful. Very, very shameful. I'm very grateful with what happened in Mali, what happened in Burkina Faso, what happened in Niger, and what just happened in Gabon. That's a good thing that they do. The military took responsibility in those countries, and we expect that from this B. But these guys are just, they don't have sense of direction, and they will not do it because they are just tribalistic people. They are all barbaric people. They prefer to kill Ambazonians than to take back their country, La Republique. Anyway, that's about them, but we are gone. Okay? This recognition now has closed the mouth of all those people they call themselves, whether black leg or whatever, all those people. The federalists. Now, America, we talk now with America directly. We don't even talk about anybody there. We talk with America directly now, one-on-one. So the rest can go to hell in La Republique there. Okay? Oh, they should arrest those people in America. They are terrorists. They are that, they are this. They are killing our people. They are calling us terrorists. These people, La Republique are crazy. The highest mafia government you can ever think of. La Republique government. No. They have tried all kinds of ways. All things they have tried. Mafia. They went and make some fake national dialogue there. Then they say, oh, we have given you a special status. Damn! Those people are crazy. They are thieves. Special status to do what? Then they went and created that thing. They created about 10 different commissions. 10 commission of bilingualism, commission of what intercultural, whatever, commission of what I don't know, just like that, to fool the international community. But when the Switzerland government say, La Republique, I want to help to resolve this crisis, come to the negotiation table. La Republique saying gangang, I no go come. They hold them. They say, okay, now La Republique went ahead. They go say they will create a House of Chiefs. Those people are thief people. All these guys, I don't know, these Bororo people to come out. They say they go give them money so when Bororo can fight these people. For cost fight among the Bororo people and the people in that region. It did not work. That's how they have been doing. The colonial minister of territorial administration too, he had his own guys that he paid, Atanganji boys. They were causing all this havoc, up and down, up and down. But at the end of the day, I'm just so happy that our people have achieved this milestone, and we can be proud to say that our people now can freely go to any embassy in the world or any diplomatic embassy and talk to the ambassadors, talk to the diplomatic mission, talk to the foreign ministers, talk to the governments. Because once you want to go to any of those places, you need official letters. The interim government can issue those letters now. Okay? Sign that, okay, go to this mission. Or if you want us to send letters, like diplomatic letters, we can do that. So that when you're going for any mission, we already send the letters that, this person is coming there to talk to you. So that it's official. Okay? That is good. American government cannot hold us we are doing illegal things in America, right? Because we are officially recognized like any other country. If you don't understand that there are many countries in the world, I always say this because people think that, we'll just get independence, then they'll recognize us, then we'll have our own country. It won't be like that. It won't be like that because there are many obstacles. There are many diplomatic troubles around the way that it's not easy to just stay like that. And your different countries have different way towards their recognition. So I don't want to be comparing others, but we use others to check if our own can be similar to that to theirs, right? Take for example, Somaliland, right, got their independence and even their referendum long ago. But what happened? Some countries did not recognize them. Okay, they had their office in America, but America did not still recognize them. It's just of recent. Imagine. So we are blessed that America is recognizing us this early. It's by the grace of God. When we say this struggle is ordained by God, people don't understand why. Because what took some other countries 10 plus years has took us 7 years to achieve. Right? Yes. So we are going, while other countries are going in arithmetical progression, we are going in geometrical progression. Okay? We are taking double steps. So what you see today has been a work of President Chris Ano behind the scene with the interim government. We have been working with this behind the scene. But diplomats will always tell you, shut your mouth. Not that we could not come and be telling what is happening, but number one thing diplomats will tell you, all the diplomats that we have talked to, shut your mouth until it happens. So you can have 30 meetings with 30 different diplomats, but all what they'll tell you like this, sail. That is always what you have, official and unofficial. You have classified and declassified information so that you know which one you can say and which one you don't have to say. Okay, so it's a very good thing. Just imagine that we had this meeting and we'll come and say, we just talked to this and they are going, like the people would have gone and blocked it. But now it happened, they will announce it. They don't have any choice, right? So it's a good move for us, and we want to thank all the leaders to understand. The black left have failed. Okay, they don't have anywhere to go no more. Who are they going to be talking to now? They have failed, so they don't have no choice. And all the people who were very skeptical about the struggle, please come back, support the struggle, support the efforts of the interim government, support the efforts of other groups, support any leader you think is doing a good job. That is the way forward. Collaboration, unity, and whatever we want can go through that way. We should stop envy. Stop envying others. Appreciate what people are doing. This thing is volunteering. Everybody in this struggle is a volunteer. The time you put for this struggle, nobody pays you. Why do you criticize? Why not appreciate what people are doing? Anything that somebody does that is good, appreciate them. When you criticize them, you discourage them, because people are using their personal currency, their personal money, to do a lot of things in this struggle. A lot. Encourage them. Give them that support. Sometimes call some leaders and say, man, do you need something to do this? We must not always call you people to support leaders, to support endeavors. This diplomatic mission, the interim government, the members of government put their personal monies. Yes. To give to the firm that did this job. So you see, everything is sacrifice. But people will not come and say that one. They'll come and say, that one I think said, oh, it's a lie. Oh, this. But you don't know what people sacrifice that people did behind the scene. You see, try to appreciate. Give some congratulations to people who are doing good jobs, so that when you do your own too, they'll congratulate you. That's it. Pound for pound. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. If you have to support something, call the president, call the many member of cabinet, please take this. We have to pay this firm every month to keep doing their job. Everybody is happy now, right? But financially, we are working towards that. So we have to not forget that people are sacrificing a lot behind the scene. Okay, we don't want to collect taxes for our people because we know that they are now under stress. The war is still going on. It's not normal times. It's not normal times. We still have prisoners in jails, in dungeons. We still have refugees. People are still dying. You go now and start collecting taxes from our people. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. So we don't support that for now. We can do that when we have a territory that we can call our own. Good. But now we are still in a struggle scenario, and we don't want to encourage that, because that's what led to ransom taking and kidnapping and this and that, all those things. We don't support that. Yes. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. God bless you. Please hit the subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube. Those watching in Facebook, please like my page, follow my page, so that you can have when I come on. Okay. Thank you for watching. God bless you and stay blessed.